In episode 7 of House of the Dragon, the tension in the Targaryen family comes to a head, but Aemon's friendship with the dragon Vhagar is one of the most important things to happen. After Laena Velaryon died tragically in the 6th episode of House of the Dragon, Vhagar was without a rider. Aemon hadn't claimed a dragon yet, but it was clear from the last episode that he wanted one so badly that he could prove his worth as a Targaryen. Start off with what Aemon said to Vhagar in High Valyrian. After Lady Laena's funeral, Aemon was brave enough to go up to Vhagar and try to bond with her by talking to her in High Valyrian. Aemon took Vhagar for a ride to stake his claim, which was a surprise. Aemon's use of High Valyrian to become Vhagar's new rider seemed to turn the tide in House of the Dragon's build-up to the Dance of the Dragons, also known as the Targaryen Civil War. House of the Dragon has been changed quite a bit by the High Valyrian language. Not only did Daemon and Rhaenyra Targaryen use it to talk to each other, but many Targaryen and Velaryon dragon riders have also used it to control their dragons on the show. In episode 6 of House of the Dragon, Alicent's and Rhaenyra's kids were shown learning how to use High Valyrian to talk to and control dragons. Even though Aemon's brother and cousins turned his lesson into a joke, his new friendship with Vhagar will likely make them eat their words. Here's what Aemon told Vhagar to get her to let him be her new rider, and what this new turn of events could mean for the rest of House of the Dragon. Aemon's High Valyrian dragon commands translated. Aemon tried to sneak up on Vhagar while it was sleeping at first, but the dragon didn't miss him and even threatened to burn him if he got any closer. "Dohaeris, Vhagar!" yelled Aemon. "Liquiri," in response. Serve is Dohaeris in High Valyrian, and calm is Liquiri in essence. Aemon was telling Vhagar to calm down and serve him, which he thought was his right as a Targaryen. Dragons choose their riders, but Vhagar wasn't sure about Aemon at first. Ultimately, she gave in and let the young Targaryen prince ride her. After Aemon got on Vhagar's back, he yelled "Solves," which means fly in High Valyrian, and they took off on their first flight together. What Aemon claiming Vhagar means for HOTD. In the Dance of the Dragons, the Greens have a much better chance of winning now that Aemon Targaryen has claimed Vhagar. The Greens are the people who agree with Alicent Hightower's claim that her firstborn son Aegon should become king instead of Rhaenyra when Viserys dies. Otto Hightower even said that Aemon's claim to Vhagar was worth 1,000 times the price he paid. Even though Aemon lost an eye in the fight with his cousins, he still has a lot to offer in a war, especially against a family that already has a lot of dragons on their side. During House of the Dragon, Vhagar is Westeros' oldest and largest dragon. She can do almost as much damage as anyone else. When she shows up in House of the Dragon, she has been fighting for over 100 years, and her fire is said to be so hot that it can melt a soldier's armor and burn the person inside it to ashes in a matter of seconds. A weapon like that has the power to change the way a war is going. In next week's episode of House of the Dragon, there will be the last big jump in time, which is said to take place over 8 years. By then, Aemon and Vhagar will have become one. As House of the Dragon continues to look into the conflict that brought down the Targaryen dynasty, a fight between Vhagar and Daemon's dragon Caraxes or Rhaenyra's she-dragon Syrax is sure to be quite a show. I believe House of the Dragon missed one major Vhagar and Laena opportunity. House of the Dragon missed a big chance with Laena and Vhagar that would have made a shocking scene in episode 6 even more moving and full of depth. In House of the Dragon season 1 episode 6, there was a time jump of 10 years, which changed Laena Velaryon's story in many ways. Laena is now married to Daemon Targaryen, and for the last 10 years, she and Daemon have lived in Pentos. Laena and Daemon also have 2 daughters, and Laena is now expecting a 3rd child. After the 10-year jump, another big change for Laena Velaryon is that she now rides a dragon, and this isn't just any dragon, Vhagar. It's the biggest and oldest living dragon in all of Westeros. But in this episode, she only spends a short time with Vhagar. During childbirth, there are problems for Laena. Laena couldn't get the baby out, so she decided to die like a dragon rider and told Laena Velaryon's dragon Vhagar to kill her with fire. It was a very sad scene, but House of the Dragon missed a big chance to make Laena's death even sadder by showing how she became Vhagar's rider. The scene where Laena dies is very sad, especially when her dragon Vhagar is there. Vhagar is confused by Laena's Dracarys command, and when it figures out what Laena wants it to do, it looks sad and doesn't want to do it. In this scene, it's clear that a bond is made, but the show never shows how that bond came to be. After the time jump, Laena is already Vhagar's rider. Not much is known about how they met or became close. Adding more details to that meeting during Vhagar's first appearance in House of the Dragon could have given Laena's request for Vhagar to kill her in more depth. Why Laena and Vhagar's meeting is so important. From the show, we know that Laena is 15 years old when she meets Vhagar and claims him as her dragon. We also know that this meeting takes place after Vhagar has been gone from Westeros for a long time. Fire and Blood also doesn't say much about how Laena comes to ride Vhagar. This gave House of the Dragon the freedom to show a strong and important connection between the two. This would have also given closure to the two characters before House of the Dragon's Vhagar finds a new rider. If they had shown how Laena became Vhagar's rider, together, their first scene together and their last scene together would have been very similar. A strong-willed 15-year-old girl standing in front of the biggest and oldest living dragon would be a powerful sight, and it would make people feel something when strong-willed adult Laena stands in front of Vhagar and demands that Vhagar give her the honorable death she wants. In House of the Dragon, Laena's death would have been even more emotional and powerful if there had been a moment that showed how this special bond began and ended. This is what she deserved. Finally, what happens to Daemon and Laena's children? Laena Velaryon died in episode 6 of House of the Dragon. This means that one of the show's main characters, Daemon Targaryen, will have a different future. During the time jump between episodes 5 and 6, it was shown that Daemon and Laena married, so House of the Dragon will have to show what happens to Baela and Rhaena Targaryen, Daemon and Laena's daughters. In the book, Baela and Rhaena are married to Laenor Velaryon's sons, Jacaerys and Lucerys Velaryon, who are Rhaenyra's sons. After Daemon married Rhaenyra Targaryen, the two girls became engaged to their cousins and stepbrothers. Rhaena stayed safe in the Vale during the Dance of the Dragons, while Baela spent most of her time in Dragonstone. In the end, Aegon II caught Baela and used her as a bargaining chip against her grandfather, Corlys Velaryon. After Jacaerys and Lucerys died during the war, Rhaena and Baela were engaged again after the Dance of Dragons was over. Rhaena married Sir Corwyn Corbray, whom she met in the Vale. After Corwyn died, Rhaena married Garmund Hightower and had 6 children with him. On the other hand, Baela ran away from King's Landing and went to Driftmark, where she married her cousin Alan Velaryon. They had one child named Laena Velaryon after Rhaena and Baela's mother. Rhaena and Baela's lives have a lot to do with what happens in the Dance of Dragons, which House of the Dragons will almost certainly talk about in later seasons. With Laena Velaryon's death, her children will play their parts in the series without their mother to protect them. This is something that the House of the Dragon will likely look into in the future. Also, Daemon's wedding to Rhaenyra will probably happen in the last 4 episodes of House of the Dragon Season 1. This means that many of Daemon's and his daughter's futures will start to be set up in the next episodes. As the show keeps jumping ahead in time, House of the Dragons gets closer and closer to the Dance of Dragons, which is the real start of the end for House Targaryen. Unfortunately, guys, that is all the time we had for today. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Till next time, cheers!